Hi guys, Kevin here. Welcome to my kitchen. Lavender. Today I'm going to show you how to make some super delicious, super easy, perfectly perfumed lavender shortbread cookies. And this lavender came from my garden, but if you don't have access to fresh lavender, you can always use dried lavender buds. Just make sure they're organic. Now, if you're using fresh lavender, just pull off the little flower petals like this and put them in a bowl. You'll need about 4 teaspoons of fresh lavender buds or 2 teaspoons of dried buds. And again, make sure the lavender you're using is organic. For this next step, we have to grind the lavender blossoms with some sugar. And to grind them, you could use an electric blender or a mortar and pestle, or use what I'm using, a food processor. So take a half cup, that's 100 grams of granulated sugar, put it in the food processor or whatever you're using, and add the lavender. I want to show you this. It looks really pretty in here. I love the purple on white. Put the lid on and then grind or process for about 30 seconds. Here's the lavender sugar, and boy, does it smell terrific. It's time to make the cookie dough. So take 8 ounces or 227 grams of thoroughly softened butter and put that into the work bowl of a stand mixer. And you want to use the paddle or mixing attachment. Then add the scented sugar. In it goes. Sorry about all the banging. And then mix this at low speed for about 2 minutes. I'll be back. By the way, we are beating at low speed in order to avoid beating air into the butter. When properly made, a shortbread cookie should be deliciously dense. All right, let's have a look. Now, I know I told you 2 minutes, but I've actually been beating this for closer to 5 minutes. Yeah, this is what we want. And next, we're going to gradually add 2 cups, that's 240 grams of all-purpose flour. We're going to add it at low speed. There we go. Again, I can't tell you how wonderful all of this smells because of the lavender. You'll know that mixing is complete when there are no visible lumps of butter in the dough. Okay, the dough has come together. Wrong way. Let's have a look. My spatula here. Oh yeah. This looks terrific. And there are no visible lumps of butter in the dough. Okay, now grab a sheet of plastic wrap. Scrape the dough onto the wrap. And then form the dough into a rough disc, like this. Pat it a few times. You're a good dough. And then wrap it up and pop it in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. We'll be back. Okay, my dough is chilling, but I wanted to let you know that I just tasted some of the dough that was stuck to the spatula. And I know we're not supposed to eat raw dough, but I licked it off anyway, and I have to tell you, delicious. And you'll notice I did not add any salt or vanilla to the cookie dough, and that's because shortbread cookies made with or scented with lavender, they just don't need any extras. They don't need salt, they don't need vanilla, they don't need nothing else. Okay, see you soon. All right, my dough is all chilled, so now it's time to roll it out. I'm going to roll my dough out on this canvas pastry frame because nothing sticks to it. If you're using your countertop or a wooden board, just go ahead and flour it lightly. And on goes the dough. Oh, also have a baking sheet lined with parchment paper or Silpat handy. Okay. And I'm going to roll this out to a 1/4 inch thick circle. This dough is going to stick quite a bit, so I am going to flour it. We're not making a pie crust here, so it doesn't have to be a perfect circle. Thank goodness. Okay. See how we're doing here. Let me get my handy ruler here. Yep. All right, I'm going to start cutting out the cookies, and I will be using a 2-inch diameter cookie or biscuit cutter. And I have a cup of flour over here, and you want to dip the cutter into the flour so that the cookie dough doesn't stick. I should probably mention that you do not have to cut out round shapes. If you'd rather do squares or hearts or whatever, just do it. Okay, and then I'm going to gather this together. And roll it out again to about a 1/4 inch thickness. There we are. Sometimes when you have flour on the thing, the cutter becomes so non-stick that you can't even pull up the cookies well. So what you do is pull up the dough around the cookies. There you go. There, 20 servings of deliciousness. And these go into the refrigerator for 30 minutes, and then we will bake them off at 300 degrees Fahrenheit. So be sure to preheat your oven to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, the cookies have chilled for 30 minutes. So I'm going to put them in the oven now and let them bake for 25 to 30 minutes. You really need to watch them because you really don't want the cookie tops to color at all. And they go on the middle rack. Okay, these cookies baked for exactly 13 minutes. Okay, I'm going to let these cool on the baking sheet until they achieve room temperature, and then we can decorate them. Okay, the cookies are at room temperature, so we can decorate them. But first, let me show you something. Well, I have a confession to make. I've already eaten 4 of the cookies, and they are delicious without any decoration at all. So whether you decorate them or not is entirely up to you. I'm going to make a very simple glaze for the cookies. So here's 1 cup, I guess that's about 112 grams of confectioner sugar. And to the sugar, I'm going to start with 1 tablespoon of water. Yeah, so what I'm aiming for here is a spreadable glaze. And if you want to have a white glaze, use heavy cream or milk in the confectioner sugar. Let's see how this is doing. This is my own homemade confectioner sugar. Very easy to do. I think I told you about this in another video. To make your own confectioner sugar, just put regular granulated sugar in a blender, preferably a powerful blender like a Vitamix, and for each cup of sugar, add 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. And the cornstarch will keep the sugar from clumping. Anyway, you blitz it and it turns powdery and wonderful. How are we here? That's a little too thin, so I'm going to add about a ½ cup of confectioner sugar and see what happens. Yeah, you really have to experiment when you're making glazes. And now it's too thick, of course, so I'm just going to add a tiny amount of water. Okay, this seems just right. So what you do is take a cookie and just put a small amount of the glaze on top and then spread it about. And then place the cookie on a wire rack. Okay, all done. And the reason I put the cookies on a wire rack is because the glaze tends to drip over the sides. And I have a sheet of parchment paper beneath this rack to catch the glaze that falls off the cookies. Now, as a final step, what you can do is take some lavender petals and sprinkle them over the glaze before the glaze has finished setting up. That way the petals will stick to the glaze. These cookies are begging to be eaten. You know what goes really well with lavender shortbread cookies? Earl Grey tea. Chin chin. If these were good without the glaze, they're even deliciouser with it. Also good. Lavender has all kinds of psychological health benefits. Chiefly, it reduces stress and it relieves anxiety. Oh, how I wish you were here to help me to eat these cookies. I hope you'll give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe and please tap the little bell icon to receive notifications. I will see you very soon with another delicious recipe. Bye for now.